Mr. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. Well, NewsX is running a campaign where we are appealing to governments and industries to come together and send heavy machinery to Wayanad. What would you say about this campaign and how important should it be?
People of Wayanad, over 360 people have died. Many families have had their homes, livelihoods disrupted. In my opinion, the focus currently is on rescue and rehabilitation. But very soon, in a few days, the focus will move to how to build back the lives and livelihoods of all those who have been deeply affected. Anybody, including NewsX, that is, sincerely working, I support and I welcome, and I urge all the viewers to support this effort as well.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, what do you make of the rescue efforts so far on the ground? The army has built a makeshift bridge in 31 hours. What is your assessment of the situation?
Look, it is becoming clear that the Home Minister and these armed forces and the NDRF, their ability to quickly move there and help the people, rescue the people, has been absolutely exemplary. And I'm very proud when I see the men of the Madras Engineering Group, the men from the Indian Air Force, the men and women of the Madras Engineering Group and the Navy and the NDRF working tirelessly around the clock to protect every Malayali in Wayanad. And as the Prime Minister and the Home Minister have said, India is with Kerala at this stage, and I'm very pleased to see the kind of response that the Government of India has been able to deliver there very quickly and very swiftly as soon as the tragedy broke.
And do you think that houses can be immediately allocated from the Awas Yojana to the families which have been affected by the severe landslide?
Look, I think there is going to be a very complex process of rebuilding, rehabilitation, and bringing back livelihoods that needs to be focused on. With great respect to media channels, for many of you, this story will become a non-story in a few days, and you will move on to the next story. But I must caution you, I must request you to stay focused, not necessarily as a news story, but on the effort of rehabilitating, building back the homes, building back the livelihoods of all of those who have been very badly affected in this landslide and this tragedy and this disaster. Building homes in particular will be a huge challenge because so much of the land there has been washed away in the landslide. So where will these homes be built? Where will the state government allocate some land? Will they be causing relocation of the people and the communities from where they used to live before? There are many complex questions that have to be asked, answered, and solutions found. And then home building has to start. And I think home building should be a combination of the Prime Minister's Awas Yojana as well as private sector, corporates coming together and helping people rebuild their homes. In 2009 in Karnataka, I was given the responsibility by the then Chief Minister Yediyurappa ji, and we built 58,000 homes for those impacted by floods. And each of the homes were built by private sector companies, private companies who spend their money, use their contractors to build new homes for 58,000 families. So there are many models where the state government, the central government, and the private sector and businesses can come together, work together to rebuild the lives, rebuild the homes of all those who have been affected. And I hope that there will be many companies and many corporates that will come and support the people of Wayanad in the days to come.
Mr. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, the families in Wayanad are in fact under a huge amount of stress. What more do you think can be done for these families in Wayanad?
No, as I said, the first of all, what we must do is not forget after the TV shows stop and after the rescues finish, we must not leave this and move on to some other topic. We must make sure that every family that has been put in harm's way, that has suffered, that have lost their home, lost their loved ones, lost their livelihoods, whatever way they have suffered, whatever losses they have incurred. We work together with the state government, we work together with the central government, and we help them come back on their feet and live dignified lives again. This is a tragedy that could have been avoided, but notwithstanding that, it is all our responsibility. We must make it all our responsibilities to ensure that their future is a much better future than all the suffering that they've had to endure in the last few days and the last few years.
And Mr. Chandrasekhar, do you think that India should incorporate an insurance policy or a procedure which is, solely dedicated to disasters, like floods and subsequent landslides?
No, this is an important question, because state governments, like especially Kerala state government, they need to answer this, because a lot of poor people do not have home insurance, do not insure their homes against natural calamities like this. And it is for the state government to think of some innovative methods by which people who spend all their lives and generations of savings to build a home suddenly find themselves destitute, suddenly find themselves homeless because of a natural calamity. I think it is time for some sort of a home insurance type of a model that protects people when they lose their homes, the homes that they have built with great pain and effort and great sweat and blood put into generations, that they lose their homes because of a natural calamity. And that is a very, very tragic thing to happen. And I think I would urge the state government of Kerala to come up with some insurance scheme that protects people in the event of such future natural calamities.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, how do you view the gag order by the Kerala government on scientists, who are going to undertake field visits to Wayanad disaster hit areas?
Look, I have said my point on this, and I certainly don't want to bring politics into what is obviously a very, very difficult time for the people of Wayanad. But I have to say this very forcefully and bluntly. The Indie Alliance parties, whether they're CPM, whether they're Congress, are notorious for waving the Constitution and talking about the Constitution and talking about protecting the Constitution. But they are the first ones to defame, to violate the constitutional right to free speech. They are the first ones to put journalists behind bars and file cases against journalists. So I've always said there is only one single truth, and I repeat every time that there's only one single truth to the Indie Alliance, that politics is based on hypocrisy, double standards and outright lies. And this particular order of the government of Kerala is a proof of what the Indie Alliance stands for and how serious they are about the Indian Constitution.
Right, but you've blamed the UPA and you've blamed a former Environment Minister Jairam Ramesh for overlooking warnings of expert committees in the Western Ghats. Is this politics, or can there be negligence involved in disasters of this magnitude?
I'm not somebody who does, as some leaders in the Congress do, vulture tourism to take photos on amongst the dead. That's not what we do. But it is clear that those who do not learn from history are destined to repeat the mistakes of the past. And in Wayanad, I have said this very clearly, this is not just a tragedy, but it is a crime. It is a tragedy caused by negligence. We know that in 2009, 2010, 2011, when the Congress was in government in the center and in the state, they were warned repeatedly by expert committees about the growing vulnerability of Wayanad in particular and the Western Ghats in general. They were warned about the risks that were building up in those areas for landslides and natural events and natural calamities like this. And the Environment Minister today, who is the propaganda chief of the Congress, was the Environment Minister, and he did not do anything. And why I bring this up is not to make any political points, but those who have the accountability and responsibility when they are in power should exercise that responsibility to protect people. And I would argue today strongly that a lot of these lives today that were lost in Wayanad could have been protected if the then government in the state and the then government in the center both Congress had acted responsibly and had acted with an intention to protect the lives of people and to protect them with the best for the best interest of the people. They did not, and today we have this tragedy. So I certainly believe this is a case of negligence, and that questions must be asked and answers must be sought after all this is over, after the rescue and rehabilitation is over.
All right. Well, Rahul Gandhi also, spent 2 days in Wayanad recently, Mr. Chandrasekhar. What did you make of that visit?
Now, look, Rahul Gandhi's politics is all about tokenism and reels and statements that reek of tokenism and soundbite focus. So, I mean, this gentleman has been the MP of this state. This gentleman's government was in government when all these warnings were given by expert committees. They did not open they did not say one word all these years. As an MP in Parliament, he never raised this issue of the growing vulnerability of the people of Wayanad, the growing risks in Wayanad that were pointed out by these expert committees. He has never done anything. They breathe in there, play their vote bank politics, get elected, and then go off on a holiday. In the second time around, he went in there, got elected, did not tell anybody in Wayanad that he was going to also contest in another seat, hid this fact from them, and now he is saying, I'm no longer the MP. So this is tokenism, we know it. He's the last person to land there. The Union Minister George Kurian landed up there on the first day. He could make it, no problems. The Chief Minister landed up there 2 days later. Many of the MLAs of the local area landed up there. But the MP of Wayanad constituency was the last one to come there. And even when he came there, his people, his cronies, pushed army men aside so that the photos could be taken. So, I mean, in my mind, and I don't think in anybody else's mind, there is any doubt that this is tokenism of the worst kind, and that he has absolutely no message, nothing but just words, empty words for the people of Wayanad. It is sad, it is tragic, but that is a fact, and I'm not playing politics, but it is what it is, and it's a sad testament, a sad betrayal of the people of Wayanad by the sitting MP of Wayanad.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, I appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. Thank you so much.